What's up YouTube, it's DJ Skandalous here, back with some hip hop news. This is going to be about Suge Knight and Death Row. If you guys have been living under a rock last 2 days or so, on TMZ.com it was reported that Ray J actually now owns the life rights and movie rights of Suge Knight. Let's check it out. So in here we got the title, Suge Knight hands over life rights to Ray J, ... make me some money. Moving on down, you got Suge Knight could be in prison for the rest of his life, but he doesn't want to go broke, so he's entrusting Ray J to cash in on his name. Sources close to the former Death Row Records boss tells TMZ he signed over his life rights to Ray J, with the expectation he'll make the right decisions with Suge Knight's story and make some money for him and his family while he's behind bars. We're told Suge Knight has been friends with Ray J for decades and trusts his business acumen and ability to choose the right projects for film, TV, book publications, and more. Now from what I know is Ray J is actually Suge Knight's godson, and he's been around Suge Knight since the 90s. You know, he actually made some remixes with Tupac, Letter to My Unborn, which we haven't even heard yet. This also goes on to say that a documentary on Suge and his famous record label is already being developed, as well as a project about Tupac Shakur, and there are discussions of bringing Death Row back. On the latter, we're told it's a long shot that will require additional investors, but Suge's letting Ray J take the reins on exploring the venture. Now here's where things get a little bit sketchy here. When you go on Vibe, the same article is reported here, but it says, according to the report, a Suge Knight and Death Row Records documentary is in the works, as well as a Tupac album. Now I know this is a bunch of bullshit because Suge Knight doesn't even own any Tupac records anymore. The Death Row catalog is owned by Hasbro, which bought out Entertainment One, as well as the Tupac unreleased Death Row content from 1995 to 1996 is owned by Tom Wally and the estate because they sued Entertainment One over royalties, so they want all the rights to those unreleased songs from those years. So you have Hasbro that owns All Eyes on Me and Machiavelli and the soundtrack songs, and Tom Wally and the estate owns the unreleased content. So I'm not sure why Vibe.com is actually reporting a new Tupac album is in the works, because even if Ray J gets rights to Suge Knight's likeness and movie rights, he doesn't actually own any of the catalog or any of the songs because it's owned by Hasbro and the estate, as well as Universal. So right there's a bunch of bullshit. I don't care who's pumping that out there, it's not true. Which leads me to another conflicting article here. When you go on theblast.com, there's a new article that says, Suge Knight sets the record straight from behind the bars. Fiance owns the life rights. So this article says Suge Knight has a strategic plan to carry out his business while serving prison. He wants to make it clear that the main power resides with his fiance. So scrolling down, it says the blast obtained a recorded statement made by Knight on Monday while he remains behind bars. The former CEO of Death Row Records wanted to clear up the erroneous report by TMZ that he had signed over his life rights to singer Ray J, effectively putting him in charge of all aspects of Knight's rights to publicity and future business ventures. Ray J is like a little brother and family, Knight said, following up that he respects the One Wish singer immensely, which is why he definitely wanted to get him involved with the business. However, Knight explained that he chose Ray J to only handle everything concerning Death Row Records and future music coming out of Death Row, which again is owned by Hasbro, so I'm not sure where these articles are getting this information. Suge Knight does not actually own Death Row Records. It went up for bankruptcy in 2006. However, in my last video about Suge Knight, I explained that the $107 million lawsuit that was against Suge Knight by Harry O and his wife that eventually bankrupted Death Row Records, it was thrown out by the judge. It was considered invalid. So I do think there may be some legal standing there for Suge Knight to have someone act on his behalf, such as Suge Knight Jr., to sue the lawyers and the trustees that were involved in this big cover-up and this big scandal. Now I'm not sure if they can sue Hasbro and get rights back to Death Row. There may be some legal standing there because Death Row probably wouldn't have went bankrupt if it wasn't for that lawsuit. But if they don't pursue it, then we won't know, and Hasbro will just continue to claim all rights and royalties. So what do you guys think? Do you think there will be a new Tupac album by Death Row and Suge Knight and Ray J? I don't think so, but let me know your comments below. Do you think this report is erroneous or not? Do you think it's fake? I don't know how much a documentary on Suge Knight's life will be worth, but the only good thing about the Tupac All Eyes on Me movie that was complete trash, by the way, and fictitious in every way, was the Suge Knight actor. He seemed like a legit mobster, a legit mob boss, like a ghetto kingpin, you know, for Spider-Man, and he just seemed awesome and he played the role perfectly. So if they were ever to do a TV show, kind of like the Wu-Tang Clan TV show on Hulu about Suge Knight, I think that could be pretty decent. It'll be pretty good. However, if you can't incorporate Tupac and Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, then there's really no reason to do a TV show on Suge Knight. And I believe you will have to go to the estate to get the likeness of Tupac to be able to use that in your movie or TV show. But I think there's still more stories you could do with Suge Knight for a TV show or documentary. So we just gotta see how it plays out. Anyways, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for listening. Peace out.